and gentlemen, welcome to the Jababeka Talk webinar session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle and I will be your host for today. The topic of the day will be the new normal, I4.0 technology for manufacturers to be competitive. Even the title is very intriguing.
Yes.
Without further ado, I would like to introduce our distinguished guest speakers for today. Okay, thank you for joining us this morning, sirs. I'm pretty sure the audience here can't wait to hear from you and discuss with you because the topic is very interesting today. Ladies and gentlemen, you can join the discussion by typing your questions on the Q&A column and make sure that you write down your name so we will answer the question at the end of the sessions. Speaking of the Industry 4.0, maybe this is the time that we make it the new normal due to the pandemic. I'm pretty sure this COVID situation will change the human behavior even after this pandemic, and there will be many aspects of the human behavior that will change, including how we run our business, the industry of the manufacturing in many ways. So I would like to go to Pak Rudy. Yeah, Pak Rudy Subrata, can you please tell us from the side of Jababeka as an industrial estate, how is the readiness of Jababeka in welcoming the Industry 4.0 revolution in this year, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Actually, Jababeka Industrial Estate is already readiness for the Industrial 4.0. Why? Because our infrastructure is already established to welcoming all the businessmen and all industrial who want to join the Jababeka Industrial Estate. Like we have 3 different power plant, we have a acara airport, we have a fiber optic to provide the good telecommunication, and this is very important for Industrial 4.0. We have four different access to Jababeka, Michelle.
Yeah.
This is very important to services all the industrial who want to settle, want to establish the Industry 4.0. This is interesting. The changing is very fast, 180 degree. So we are ready or not, we want to change or not. Now is the time.
We must change.
We must change. The world is changed. We must change. What happening now? Maybe after this, Eugene and Felius will be update about this. What happening now in the Industry 4.0 in the pandemic situation like this? Yeah, Jababeka is ready. Yeah, we will help our tenant. We will support our tenant to preparing the Industrial 4.0. This is Michelle.
So, does Jababeka has any program, sir, to encourage the 4.0 transformations among the tenants?
Yes, we have many program. One of the program is now to give the more information about Industry 4.0 to our tenant. First, yeah. Second, even in this pandemic situation like this, we still give the information to our tenant. But in a different way. Last year maybe Eugene and Felius get the presentation in seminar, big seminar. Now we change. This is actually the big seminar too, but online.
Yes.
Yeah, conference.
So we also transform.
Yeah, so we are transform. That's why this is this thing. Yeah, what we do in Jababeka is still want to give our commitment to services our tenant, to give the a lot of information. This is very important. Why we want to this information seminar like this continuous. Yeah, Eugene and Felius. Why? Because we want to give the information to the tenant. Hey, now is the time to change. There is no time again. There is no time. Now is the time or never. Yeah. We are ready or not ready. The changing is already happened. This is that's why I'm thinking, oh, this is a good moment. That's why we are very happy and highly appreciate with Eugene and Felius. They want to spend the time to gain the refreshment about the Industrial 4.0. That is the result.
Yeah, speaking of new normal, sir, due to this pandemic, do you think what kind of industry, which is in high demand right now, that you think that you are ready to welcome to join Jababeka Industrial Estate?
Yeah. It is very interesting. New normal. Nah, what Jababeka what Jababeka do for Jababeka ready for the new normal is we want to still to make our infrastructure more better and better. Like now, like current plan for our power plant, 2 private and 1 from government, and then the infrastructure for telecommunication. Now supporting full. Nah, what one of our full supporting we launch the new application we call Smart. This application is very update application. Why I said that? Because all the tenant can access all the information just one click. This Smart
Through this application.
Through this application. This is one step ahead. Why Jababeka? I said from the beginner ready for the Industrial 4.0. After this one, after this is smart city, smart factory, and maybe we are welcoming for the data center, e-logistic, business, aerospace business like that. This is the business in the future that need Industry 4.0 and our infrastructure itself.
Something like that. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Rudy. So you think that this time maybe a good opportunity to invest?
Yes. Why I said that? I said this to Eugene and Felius. Now what's happening in Indonesia or even in the world? The stock is going down. The US dollar rupiah not very high, almost 16,000 in Indonesia. Yeah. Third, about our gold price. Gold price is very high. What is the investment is not correction for the price. It's property. Property what? It's been the premium location, premium property. If we talk about the premium property, of course Jababeka. Why? I'm not talking why because I'm a salesperson. No, Jababeka is only 30 years old. Okay, all the infrastructure from our age, from our service, our infrastructure is only world class. This is why I said Jababeka is ready for this investment, and now is the time. That is important. So maybe this is the small sharing from me. I can define 3 lines of business industry. The first is the industry is now, I can say, is postponed of the pandemic, because of the pandemic. Postponed. Second, the industry is want to transform, to do the transform. Like I said, my customer changed their business suddenly. because of the pandemic, from selling the LED lamp to sell the army bed, army bed. This is the interesting. Some of them is change the business from automotive part to produce the ventilator. Now this is what happening in the transformer industry. Yeah. The third, of course, the industry is not influenced by this pandemic. Maybe they have a 50% increase the sales. What the category for this business, like pharmaceutical, food and beverage, consumer goods, yeah, chemical, this is, I said, wow, this is what happening though. Not all the industry is suffer. Most of them is now highly demand, increase the sales. Nah, that's why Jababeka still exists. We doing still continue. Twice a week, we want to try to do the online talk show to give the information, to give our tenant services that hey, Jababeka is still in here, and you are not alone.
Yeah.
This is important, Michelle.
Okay, so good businesses can transform,
Yes.
and great businesses can expand, and now is the time.
Now
to
is the time.
expand.
Yeah, agree with you. Thank you for Felius and Eugene.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Rudy. And now let's get to Mr. Eugene. Hello, Eugene. Can you hear me?
Yes, Michelle, loud and clear.
Yeah, speaking from the side of the Singaporean embassy, I'm sure the audience here is also very curious about the collaboration of Indonesia and Singapore in the industrial sector. Can you please share with us the key finding of the industrial readiness in Jababeka or in Indonesia in general, especially after this pandemic situation? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you stay tuned because Mr. Yo's presentation will be sharing how to evaluate the readiness of your manufacturing, of your industry to transform to Industry 4.0 and what works for your manufacturing operation. So Mr. Yo, time is yours. Let's see the presentation.
Yeah, so first thing first, Selamat siang semuanya. Good morning everyone. So once again, thank you Pak Rudy, thank you Ibu Michelle for having me here once again. My role here is just to share about some of the initiatives that we have been working on quite closely with our Indonesian context on Industry 4.0, and hopefully there can be some useful takeaways for the participants in this webinar today with us. Yeah, so just briefly, I think I'll start off with a quick introduction of Enterprise Singapore. So we are, next slide. We are a government agency under the Ministry of Trade and Industry and responsible for Singapore enterprises growth through three key areas: capability development, innovation, and internationalization. So for myself, of course, I'm based in Jakarta Overseas Centres and focusing more on the internationalization part. So besides working with the Indonesian government directly, we have also built strong partnerships with private entities to work on this I4.0 topic. So most notably, of course, with Jababeka, one of our closest partners for this initiative, who is very forward-looking, and also because we kind of already have a very good collaboration going on between our Singapore company Sembcorp and Jababeka to co-develop Tenggara Industrial Park. So now it's really to pursue other areas, other new growth areas together, such as Industry 4.0, to expand on our existing friendship. Yeah, so I think over the past couple of years, Jakarta Overseas Centres have been interacting with quite a number of manufacturers, working together on helping them understand better about I4.0. And I think this was especially achieved through a recent visit to Kota Jababeka, with the delegation of our I4.0 expert last July. So one of the most important things that we learned is the fact that if you are looking at different aspects of I4.0, it's actually appeal to different kinds of manufacturers. Just to cite some examples, for F&B companies where they have massive scale of operation, more or less they have automated quite throughout all their production, with the exception of maybe end-of-line packaging or labeling processes. On the other hand, we have, I think, interaction with some of the pharmaceutical companies. They are most interested on solutions that can improve on their quality checks, since most of the products that they sell are highly regulated by agencies such as I4. So, two other themes we see consistent across all manufacturers. First, they are concerned regarding the increasing labor costs, not matched by a corresponding increase in productivity, which is also a situation I think in Singapore. That's the reason why we are hoping this new technology can help to increase labor productivity. And I think the second theme which is consistent across this, when manufacturers they want to adopt Industry 4.0 solution, they may lack the skilled labor with the relevant skill sets to deploy such a solution. So I think this also brings us to the importance of ensuring the labor force is upskilled when manufacturers are looking to take up such business transformation. I think fortunately in Jababeka, the education system, technical training is very well in place, especially because there's a university president university.
Yes.
So I think that is really a very good point about Jababeka as an industrial estate. Okay, next slide. Alright, so I think given current circumstances, no conversation is complete without just talking about how the COVID situation is evolving. I think based on the conversation that we have been having with a number of manufacturing contexts, we recognize that various indicators are pointing to the fact that manufacturing sector is quite depressed at the current moment. So I think I just read quite recently that the Indonesian's purchasing manager index has fallen quite steeply to 37.5. Likewise in Singapore, I think we are facing the same situation where our PMI has also dropped to the worst in 11 years. So the last time it was this bad was probably during the 2008 financial crisis, right? So honestly, I think this major decline is not the result of a single factor, but really many key reasons, right? So firstly, we think about how some of these social distancing measures are affecting operations for factories. So this will hurt your production output. Next, we are also looking at global demand being very badly affected by more cautious consumer spending. Of course, during this uncertain period of time. And last but not least, we see that production costs are actually also increasing, largely due to disruption to your supply chain. And I think just now Rudy mentioned, right, the rupiah has depreciated quite a bit. So if you are looking at imported materials, there's actually a higher cost involved right at the moment. So that being said, I think while there are sectors affected, there are also a few bright spots to be observed. So especially for manufacturers of essential goods and products such as food and medical supplies. So I think just a few days back, there was a piece of news which mentioned Unilever, in fact, for their Q1 in 2020, they improved by over 6% for their business, largely because of better performances in two key sectors. One in health and personal care, the other in food and refreshment. Yeah. So I think it's really difficult at the current moment to operate under such circumstances, but in both my conversation with Singapore and Indonesian manufacturers, we still have manufacturers that have to continue operating as close to normal as possible. And also manufacturers that are taking this downtime, this work from home period of time to position themselves, to relook at their business, to position themselves for recovery or the new normal, right? So this is where we believe that technology can be applied to aid companies in this situation. So next, I think we also spoken to manufacturers that have been increasingly crippled from overseeing their operations due to extensive travel restrictions in place. Not just talking about companies with operations internationally, but even I think in Indonesia, let's say if you have a factory in Cikarang, another factory in Batam, now the manager based in Jakarta may not be able to fly so easily to Batam because of all this social restriction in place. To mitigate this issue, there are I4.0 solutions that can help digitalize real-time live data onto a cloud so that managers are still able to ensure proper oversight remotely And I think most importantly, right, it's about reacting quickly to changing circumstances to make informed business decisions. So I think Rudy just now mentioned about how some of the automotive manufacturers are also looking into making ventilators, right? But in order to make such business decision quickly, you need data, you need, I think, I4.0 solution to help you decide better. So lastly, various technologies and software solutions can also help to better manage your workflow and labor deployment. And at the end of the day, it's really about minimizing unnecessary contact among your workers to ensure a safe workplace is there for your workers, and consequently, of course, to support business continuity even during such a public health crisis. Okay, next slide. So I think we spent some time talking about technology adoption, but I think to effect changes, it's not just about buying the technology, right? There needs to be considerations beyond just the production floor. In Singapore, to help manufacturers through this change management, we developed this framework called the Smart Industrial Readiness Index series by listing out the various dimensions that manufacturers have to think about in order to for them to fulfill the potential that I4.0 technologies can bring to them. So briefly, just beyond technology consideration, you can see in the graphic right now that one has to also think about how I4.0 solutions can integrate firstly with existing company processes such as your logistics and your supply chain management, as well as how the organizational structure and human resources can support this technology implementation. So hopefully this framework can be a useful guide for any of the Indonesian manufacturers also looking to adopt technologies. And let's say if any of the Jababeka tenants is interested to have a further conversation, feel free to connect with me. I'm happy to share a bit more. Okay, I think this is my last slide to briefly. So feel free to reach out if there is anything we can discuss and more. Take care, and I will now pass back the time to Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eugene. Yeah, even for Jababeka also, I think by the end of this year we will launch also a smart model factory.
Yes, and I forget. I just Eugene just mentioned about the President University. This is the one part of very important facility to support the industrial 4.0, and we have it.
yeah, very important. Human capital now.
Yes.
We call it. Okay. Thank you very much, Eugene. And then now I think we're going to go to Mr. Felius Yuseli's time. Without further ado, I'm not going to hold you for any longer, Mr. Felius. You can please, maybe in a brief, introduce about ARC Industries.
Sure. Thank you so much, Michelle and Rudy, for the time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Felius. I'm the head of business development for Indonesia's operations. And as Eugene and Rudy have mentioned, there are manufacturing companies that are seeing increasing market demand, but there are some others that are looking at decreasing market demand. And this requires technology that are intelligent, that will tell you where to improve and how to make your factories more efficient. So ARC Industries is founded by a team of experts in office management, data science, hardware, and software engineering. Our goal is really to serve the global market in the industrial world and make Industry 4.0 and IoT available to every industrial company, whether big or small, global or local. Long ago, we identified the biggest barriers to implementing digitalization and made a breakthrough. The turnkey plug-and-play agile system that we have developed have successfully helped manufacturers across 6 countries and 6 industry sectors to digitalize quickly and effectively. We have deployed in multiple industry sectors, including FMCG, food manufacturing, electronics and semiconductors, and many more. Around with roughly 1,000 machines connected and millions of data points being streamed daily. We have heard the word IIoT mentioned a few times from the start of this webinar by Eugene and by Rudy and the panel. Just what is it exactly? So simply put, it is the concept of basically connecting any device with an on and off switch to the internet. if we all apply this concept to our factories, we will get smart factories. With all our industrial assets, production and processing machines connected into one platform, they will tell us how our factories are performing and where the area for improvements are. How does it really work, IoT? To start, let me give you a human analogy. In humans, information flows from the sensory organs to our motors, to our muscles. With IoT system, Internet of Things system, a typical one will need two more functions. The first one, they need communication device that connect to this processor or to the sensors directly, and then you also need a cloud applications. Combine these together, and we will have information not only flowing from the sensors to the processor, but also the information will flow from the sensors to the communication device and then to our application. Let's take a look at the advantages of IoT for industrial operations. On the left hand, we have the list of characteristics of industrial operations in I2.0 or I3.0 factory. These are factory without IoT. Well, on the right, I4.0 factory with IoT. I'm sure many of us here are still doing manual logging and reporting, and this is seen in factory without IoT usually. This way of working presents possible human error and slow decision making as well, as it takes some time for us to collect the data and then to make reports. In contrast to factories with IoT, data is collected automatically and in near real time, allowing no human error and much faster decision making. We will have full transparency and visibility of our factory floor. This will improve collaboration and reveal for us where to improve, where to save costs, and how we can profit more. Any changes needed during this situation, abrupt changes or dire situations, you can always monitor from home and decide what to do. The smart insights is there for you to take smart actions. Last but not least, without IoT, it is usually very challenging to conduct proper and fast productivity performance analysis. But with IoT systems such as our industries, for example, all the critical analysis that has been gained from our years of experience in McKinsey, GE, has been programmed into the software. And it does all the heavy lifting for you in real time and automatically. Such capabilities IoT system can offer us. See, it is no wonder that companies will leverage it to achieve a number of top objectives. These top objectives are: first, increase operational efficiency, reduce maintenance and downtime, reduce energy costs, improve product quality, and enhance safety and security. Now, let's take a look together at some case studies. If you look at the top graph, there's a graph here. Right here, each bar is a daily output of a single machine. This is how many companies are looking at daily production. Now, what we did differently with IoT is to create a bar graph. It looks like a barcode, but it really is tiny little bars representing output for each single minute. Every white line you see is a minute of zero output produced. This bar graph was a real eye-opener. And the team at the bottom plant immediately tried to improve the performance until by the end of the week they were achieving high speed and high reliability. Now, if you finally compare the daily total charts above again, it has already risen from 38,000 to 81,000, more than double. This is a big achievement for this company, which is experiencing high demand growth. They were able to quickly capture top-line revenue growth without needing to invest large capital. Let's take a look at the second one. The second one is a different, contrasting to the first one. This one, the market demand is decreasing. So the company shifted instead of like the first one, they instead focused on cost reduction and building a leaner organization. So efficiency of each asset is the key here. So the IT system enabled the entire organization from planning department, engineering department, materials department to production team to have a shared single source of truth for the first time ever. They finally have a single dashboard that everyone can base on by the minute, or even the second, when these events occur and how long it took for recovery. The impact on the performance and the productivity of this plan was huge by the system, because together with other improvements, they managed to reduce work hours from 2.5 shifts into 1.5 shifts.
Wow.
In fact, we know here that the team is aiming for a stretch goal of 1 single shift. So the impact of IoT system in manpower saving and leaner organization is very significant. Many times to digitalize, mean a company must overcome the 3 biggest barriers. Number 1, cost effectiveness. Number 2, specialized skills required. And number 3, the complexity of industrial systems. So what we're doing at Akan Industries, we make it 5 to 10 times more cost effective. We improve project cycle time by deploying in days instead of months, and we take away the prerequisite for a complicated and deep set of skills required. We achieve this by building a modular system made up of both hardware, as you can see on the left, as well as software on the right. Hence, by designing this product this way, yes, the breakthrough that we have made, this IoT system becomes mass customizable and self-deployable, and that results in cost effectiveness. In fact, we recently shipped a pilot kit via DHL to Europe, where the users organized a short 30 minutes video conference, to familiarize with the tool. After which, within 2 hours, they successfully connected their machines and were streaming data to the cloud. Here on this slide is an example of a real-time dashboard, and it is designed for simplicity and clarity. So we start with a blank canvas, and a secure cloud-based application allows all of us here, the users in the factory, from different departments to construct their own dashboards, using tiles and blocks for each asset. By scanning the globally unique ID on the nodes and the gateway, you can configure their own dashboard. The concept behind this dashboard is actually built upon the best practices for industry standards. In the manufacturing and service operation, a very powerful tool is called the MIFA, which stands for Manufacturing Information Flow Analysis. So this is what we do exactly here. So this is the dashboard, the software simulates the value stream mapping that is the gold standard in the lean manufacturing. This becomes a single source of truth containing all the operations information for your whole organization. Of course, not only that, you can see the overview organization or manufacturing floor. We can also deep dive into single asset. If you double click into any of these assets or blocks, which represent 1 machine each, you can see the detailed view of the parameters. We call this the asset view apps. You can zoom in to examine per second or minutely data across the past 1 or 2 hours. You can also zoom out to as far as the entire year to look at a 12 months performance. This allows powerful data exploration. On the top right, you'll see the Pareto and OEE waterfall chart. This enables users to sort and rank losses and issues based on the 80-20 Pareto principle, which is saying that very often 80% of your losses can come from 20% of your top issues. You can view the top 3 issues that need to be resolved for your company to move the needle for the entire plan. On the bottom left, we also see trend comparison for identifying norms and anomalies. On the bottom right, there is the heat map analysis, with which we identify hot zones that are bottlenecks and display the broadened day trend. These are all very important, ladies and gentlemen, to help companies measure where they are and how to improve. I believe many of you right now, are thinking to yourself, Akan Industries' solution is indeed comprehensive in its analytics and overall robust. But my factories are old, the machines are of low technology. Will I be able to digitalize with the current state? Electrical machines of all sizes can be digitalized. We don't see the brands. It's brand agnostic, regardless of age and where it comes from, the origins. can all be digitalized using organized solution with much lesser effort and investment as compared to conventional systems such as SCADA or DCS. Because our product has been designed to accommodate to every kind of machines as long as they're electrical machines. The only way to achieve this adaptability and flexibility is by really breaking the industrial IoT system into turnkey, out-of-the-box solution, so that you can connect it to all sorts of sensors and actuators. We are able to serve a very small company, as you can see with a tip on the left, all the way to large enterprises with thousands of machines. So this benefits small, medium, or large enterprises alike. Without heavy infrastructure investment needed and team of specialized expertise as requirement, you can actually achieve this with IoT system, organized IoT system. As a company, if you're thinking of doing this, you can start really small and then scale up with us as you see success. We've reached the end of this presentation. A few key points to take home today. We believe deep data and federalized IoT can make a big difference. Our IoT system has been designed to be as cost effective as possible, so it will very, very likely to fit into your budget scale. We also strongly believe this is the tool that manufacturers like all of you need for you to become more efficient and perform better to be more competitive in the days to come. If you're interested in digital transformation and hope to find out more about how IoT can improve the efficiency, reliability, or quality of your operations, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Felius
Thank
Yuseli,
you.
for a very interesting presentation. Thank you very much. I'm sure it actually has wide opened our eyes that actually 4.0 technology is very close to us, is very relatable right now, and very necessary. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now opening the question and answer session. How do you think the industry can have the first, maybe the baby step, maybe how to start transformation? So maybe Eugene can answer first.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. So if we think about baby steps that manufacturers can take in order to start on their digitalization journey, it's really very important to just do a complete evaluation of your current business. Look at basic issues that you are trying to resolve. Could it be maybe in terms of your error rate of manufacturing, do a proper diagnostics of your existing business, and then identify which are some of the key problem statements that manufacturers want to resolve. I think, in fact, that will be a better approach as compared to just you go shopping for solutions and then implement it in your shop floor, then you can realize actually this does not really target the most essential part of maybe some of the manufacturing processes which are being improved on.
Thank you, Eugene. And Felius, maybe you can share a little bit about where to start.
First baby step that you have to take is what Eugene has mentioned. We have to do a scanning of the entire organization for the needs and the urgencies. This is the guiding principle that we usually recommend to companies manufacturing. It is important. The first very step is that you have to have a senior management commitment first. You start listing down your project, your clear target, ambitious target, and secure investment. Start with a pilot project first, a lighthouse project. This is the second stage. Lighthouse project, you can start with a few machines that is possible with a scalable machines system like organizations. And then once you see success, you can scale up to the entire factories. This is always the most important. Secure senior management. Going I4.0 is not only technology, because it also involves like change management, leadership. Somebody must be at the helm to steer and give a clear direction of where everybody is going. To build a culture, not only technology adoption on top of it.
Build a culture.
Culture, yes. A culture.
So I also completely agree with yes. It's important to have senior management buy-in when looking at this business transformation project. It's also about getting the various different departments to come together to make sure that such technology is properly integrated, not just at the production shop floor, but other parts of the business units. So I think that's the reason why it's always important to have high-level management support to push through.
Yeah, and for you, Felius, maybe answering Rukmana's question about the challenges that manufacturers has right now. What is the most common challenges that you see manufacturers seems to be facing?
So the most important challenges manufacturers in their supply chains need to overcome are really the three key barriers that I mentioned in my story just now. When we first came up with our I4.0 technology to the market, we realized we were not helping companies to overcome the challenges. The reason so was because it had all the components of complexity, being very expensive, and also it requires specialized skill set to implement. With this, the barriers are really high because if we cannot justify the cost for the ROI, then even doing a lighthouse project is almost impossible. Right? But with technologies out there that people are trying to always innovate, one of them is chemistries. As you can see here today, we have tried to overcome these important challenges. We have torn down all these walls for you, so you no longer have to undergo the headaches to adopt I4.0 and to take advantage of I4.0.
Very well, Mr. Felius. Maybe we're jumping to the next question. Very sorry that there is no name for this one, but do you guys have an agreement strategy for the future after the pandemic is over?
Quite a difficult question because I think right now we are also not so sure when exactly will this pandemic situation be properly resolved, right? Personally, I feel that it's no longer a situation where you need to prioritize. Is it ensuring business continuity, or is it public health? I think issue that you have to resolve, right? Because end of the day, if you don't resolve this public health issue, this pandemic, I think it's really quite difficult for everyone to just resume their normal pace of doing business. End of the day, it's really to ensure that we keep this pandemic situation under control before we think about going back to our business engagements. That being said, of course, we can be creative, right? So having this webinar is one of the ways we manage along and just make sure that while we are taking the time also to evaluate what might be some of the new things that come our way and potentially benefit from it as well.
For Mr. Rudy from RD Rahman, what strategy are you focusing right now for the Industrial 4.0? Is there any certain product from Jababeka that will support manufacturers in this area?
Yeah, of course, in the now pandemic situation, we are we said, and we are agree that we are changed. Yeah. We give the special treatment for our tenant, like we servicing, free disinfectant, we give them free mask, and now maybe we want to give them the tools for the healthy, like face shield and anything. And then we want, like you said, Eugene and Felius, we want to launch our new product in March and April. This new product is actually we want to design a smart factory. Yeah, this happening so fast that we postpone for everything. And then so we change. Now we give them our program for the selling, for everything is we open a new cluster for small medium enterprise, Eugene and Felius. So why we are interested in small medium enterprise? Like maybe everybody is agree small medium enterprise is one of the pillar to support the big industry. Second, we give a new program for the new customer, like we give them free membership for golf, free membership for the this is a stimulus to support our new customer to join the Jababeka Industrial Estate. Like that, Pak Adi.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Maybe later in the future we can have a bundling with I4.0 solution provider and then give like free consultation if that's very necessary for the new investors. We are very open to that. Okay, so from Erwin Nugroho, does Jababeka has the facilities or infrastructure to become a city with 4.0 technology?
Yeah, like I said in the first step, we already have the different power plant. We have the fiber optic telecommunication backbone, and now we have a Cikarang Dry Port. Why Cikarang Dry Port is an inland port. Inland port means one the biggest is in Tanjung Priok. Now Jababeka have an inland port in Jababeka. The fourth is we have 4 different access to our industrial estate. So this is actually I think the basic infrastructure to support the industry 4.0, and Jababeka is already.
Actually, Jababeka has been a pioneer for this in terms of logistic
Yes,
4.0 too.
Agree.
Yeah, because Cikarang Dry Port is now the most sophisticated inland port I think in Indonesia. Yeah, and then also speaking of the a city of 4.0 technology, I think in the future we will collaborate more and more with the 4.0 service provider, and I think this will also help to build this into a 4.0 township. And right now, actually, as mentioned earlier by Pak Rudy, that we already have a J Smart, an application for transferring information, exchanging reports about the estate, and I think that's becoming more beneficial right now, especially because people cannot go to check on their plans. They can just see from this application and see how the industrial estates running from day to day.
Yeah, so we have actually 5.
Yeah.
So the fifth is we have President University. This is the important thing to supporting the industry 4.0.
Even right now, President University has master's degree in technology.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, so now because we realize that the next human capital needs to understand more about the utilization of the industrial 4.0.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
So I think as mentioned by you, now this period of time, most of us working from home. I think more than ever, I think certain companies really will find such technologies even more important when they are dealing with so many restrictions brought by the pandemic situation.
I think from our side as well, we're trying to support everybody in this situation.
Yes.
So from our industries to catalyze the adoption of I4.0, we are giving incentive in terms of discounts for our system. Should you be interested to discuss further from this webinar, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to the organizing committee and then discuss further how we can deploy for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eugene and Felius, and also Pak Rudy.
Thank you so much.
Right now we're having a polling for your feedbacks to the viewers. We would like to see you on the screen right now. You can answer the 2 questions, a survey for this webinar right away, right now at your screen. Okay. If you have done so, thank you very much for your participation and good discussion. We are coming to the end of this webinar due to the limited time, and thank you very much, panelists Eugene, Felius, and Pak Rudy. Very sorry, maybe if there is still any question that need to be answered offline, please do so. We are very welcome to your questions. You can WhatsApp us to Jababeka number. You can also call us on Jababeka hotline. Feel free to do so. And if you have any questions about Jababeka products or services, you can also see it from our Instagram at Jababeka Industrial Estate. And please subscribe also to our YouTube channel because we will post this webinar offline too. And also for the next webinar, we will be doing webinars like this with even more interesting topics that will be very useful, related to the current trend of industrial condition right now, and hoping that you can join our next webinar. Get the invitation on our Instagram account at Jababeka Industrial Estate. Okay, thank you very much everybody. I'm Michelle and see you on the next Jababeka Talk.
Thank you,
Bye.
Eugene. Thank you,
Thank
Felius.
you.